Oh, misty eye of the mountain below. Oh, we are live. Welcome back, everybody. Sorry about that. Computer said one thing, screen said another. So, welcome back to the channel. This is United vs. Everybody. I am your host, Sean, and I tell you what, I need to switch to a heart healthy diet. I need some more whole grains for this guy because my heart can't take some of these matches right now. In a game that was almost postponed due to weather and travel conditions for fans, Manchester United drew 2-2 to Liverpool at Anfield, which, quite frankly, the fact that we got a result against a big side away is a big deal in itself. But what a game it was. What a showing from the lads. What a performance. I have to say, I would have snatched off your hand for a draw ahead of kickoff. But as that game went on, I started to kind of feel like we deserved 3 points. You guys let me know what you think. If not for a bullshit handball, we could have had that too. And also, I'm not going to spend too much time, but how is that not a red card for Darwin Nunez for that just blatantly violent foul on Mateus de Ligt? We're going to talk about the result, though, so get your thoughts in. We're going to talk about the performance. We're going to talk about what Ruben Amorim had to say because he's echoed a lot of what we've been talking about on this channel for a while now. I want your thoughts. I want your opinions on all of it, as always. So like the video. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. Hit that notification bell to make sure you don't miss out on any content. And let's talk a little bit about team selection to start. Let me see what you guys are saying to start. Usman, how are you? Sean, I know the stream's a half hour, not available. Better result than expected. Looks like Lionhearts was right. Take care. We'll see you all on the next video. Well, I appreciate you stopping by, getting your thoughts in, man. Bummer you couldn't be here, but hopefully hit that like button on the way out. And as Usman, as always, appreciate your thoughts on the match, my guy. Be sure to check it tomorrow for the whole video. Box jumping in. Good to see you, Box. Hopefully you guys aren't tired of talking about the match yet. Usually you guys know I like to save like the match reactions for the next day. Schedule's not working out. If I do have some time tomorrow, I might do a transfer talk, but that's just going to depend on how much transfer news is out there. But doing it tonight while we're all still fresh. Baca Nunez, not sure what the 4-letter word is there, but I like where your head's at, Box. So a little bit of news before we get into this one, though. So regarding team selection, so just hours before kickoff, it looked like Alejandro Garnacho apparently deactivated his Twitter account. So normally I don't really care all that much about social media, if I'm honest, but Garnacho's found himself in hot water on more than one occasion over his behavior on social media. Who knows if this was just to vent over being on the bench or if he's finally decided just to grow up and just get off social media. Maybe the club or Amorim just told him, like, you're done on social media for a while, bud. Maybe that's just to help him focus to get back in the starting 11. I don't know, get his head right, but he wasn't in the starting 11, but he was in the squad. He did come on as a sub, and he did bag an assist for our second goal, so big up. Maguire getting the start tonight was a big call for a lot of us, even ahead of the match. I know a lot of the people I was talking to. I did go to Loaded Dice Brewery today, did hang out with the DRD crew. And I got to say, again, I know it's been a while. I haven't been to Loaded Dice in a little while because just sick and busy, but always appreciate Jeff and Jen opening their doors early for us at Loaded Dice. If you guys are ever in Troy, go check out Loaded Dice. They got trivia. They make their own. It's awesome. And as always, the Detroit Red Devils crew, you could see the scarf behind me. They are a blast. It was good to reconnect with some of the OGs there. My boy Luke, Brian, haven't seen those guys in a while. So big up Loaded Dice, big up Detroit Red Devils. Officially recognized Manchester United supporters group, by the way. But yeah, not everybody was happy with Maguire starting, but it turned out to be just a master stroke, right? I had him on the bench with Mazraoui at CB, if you remember, but it did pay off on the night. Ahmad moved up to the 10 next to Bruno. Mazraoui at right wing back. It worked, though. Again, no Rashford in the squad. We're told he's ill. Make of that what you will. And it was great. Only 3 subs were used tonight, but all 3 subs made a tremendous impact. So obviously Garnacho had the assist. Like we said, Euro was immense. That tackle that he made late on in the match was one of the best tackles I've seen for a while. That was a world-class tackle. That's one of those tackles, like, if you don't get it, you're losing the game because that ball is going in. And I even thought Xerxes did pretty well, obviously. Could have had an assist. Really, I thought maybe should have had a goal, but we'll talk about that a little later on. But But it was surprising as well. I don't know what you guys thought about the fact that the subs were all made a lot later than what we've seen. So typically what we've seen from Amorim is the subs are made in between like the 50th, 60th minute, and we're moving there. Does this maybe show that he's starting to figure out what his starting 11 is, maybe his best starting 11? Who knows? Maybe you guys can let me know what your thoughts are. But in hindsight, though, it's almost, again, it's kind of like a Newcastle situation. It's frustrating the subs came on and had the impact they did, because I feel like had they come on a little early, we might have actually gotten a little something. And I'm not going to split hairs. I'm not going to point fingers. I'm just saying, like, some part of these things are frustrating. This was like watching those matches under Rude today. It was good and it's bad, bittersweet. And we're going to talk about why. Let me jump back in here and see what everyone's saying. Box says, good result, good performance, in my opinion. Yeah, I thought it was a good, again, if offered me that result ahead of the match, I would have taken it. The performance was one of the best performances we've seen from them in a while. Box says, could have won, but equally could have lost. Yeah, I did think we were the better side on the day, to be honest. But we're going to talk a little bit more about that. Bandomac, welcome back, my friend. Hopefully you are doing well. Good to see you, my friend. Box says, Euro tackle, heart and mouth, but perfection. It really was perfection. That was as perfect. What's frustrating to me, though, and I said this at Loaded Dice, like, that was literally the same exact tackle that Maguire had earlier that Maguire got carded for. Maguire wins the ball, he comes in clean, and he it's really ridiculous, man. Benomex says, yeah, the way Nunez was looking at him, his only intention was to take him out. Should have been red. I posted on the channel's Twitter, on United vs. Everybody, like, I'm expecting a retrospective red card for Nunez, because there was nothing but malicious intent and violent intent in that. Literally took like 5 steps, and the whole time looking right at De Ligt, just waiting to shove a shoulder. Had his arm been raised, it probably would have been a straight red. Composed View, welcome back, my friend. How are you? That Euro tackle won us the point. And this is the thing. This is why for so long that defenders were so undervalued in the market. That's why for so long you saw like wingers and strikers get a lot of the high prices in the transfer market. But defenders and keepers, you can score 3 goals and still concede 4 goals. But if you don't concede a goal, you're guaranteed at least a point. And defenders like that tackle, like you're saying, is a game-saving tackle. Bach says, it was reckless play by Nunez, especially in 2025 where VAR is. I'm surprised that VAR didn't do anything more to that. That was an absolute shambles of a decision. We're going to talk about some of the decisions today as well, though. Bandomac had been hard on Dallo in previous games. I had to give him credit. He was brilliant taking on Trent. Yeah. And like Bach says, he made Dallo look like Bruno Carlos. And this is what we're going to talk about, because Dallo did exactly what we needed to do against Liverpool. And fair play to Amorim, fair play to Dallo for backing himself on the day. Exploited exactly that space like we said we needed to do in the match preview. Yeah, he did. He did start using his left foot. Just unfortunate that Dallo's final ball is not always super accurate. So again, I thought United were the better side. It was funny to see Liverpool defending so deep at home. If you watch, it was literally only Højlund up top. If you look at our average position on the night on SofaScore, it's Højlund, and then there's like 15 yards, and then it's our next player. But Liverpool were literally sitting in the back 4 a lot to start the match, which was just funny to me, given they're at home. That's not typically the way they play. And contextually, when you consider where the two sides are right now in terms of form in the table, like, it's just, that's not how the home side plays, especially not if you're Liverpool. They were keeping a lot of numbers back. Again, just because we only really had Højlund. Literally, it was a Højlund and like 5 red shirts around him the whole time when we did get the ball. Liverpool were able to get back in defense, but it was just Højlund. So whenever we did pass to Højlund, and whenever he had the ball, he was just getting bullied by Virgil van Dijk or Konate. They were double marking. They were pushing him, pulling him, doing whatever they needed to. I don't know what any striker can do in that situation, honestly. He does need to do better with his first touch. Højlund, I thought he should have buried that early chance as well. It was a good chance, one-on-one. A lot of our good chances came down our left-hand side because Trent reasons, but he's still young, so that savviness to his play, that discernment will develop as he gets older. But again, he needs to get better in his touch and his decision making in those decisions. We could definitely do with a more experienced striker to help him out in that regard as well. Bandomex says Rashford caught lazy-itis. Nick, it's been a minute. How are you, Nick? Good to see you, my friend. Lionhearts. Lionheart's got to give you. I'll give you half credit because you did call the 2-1. We did not get the 2-1, but you get half credit for the draw. So Lionheart's and Slash's Snake Pit, if you're watching, Slash did. You guys both went in 2-1. You both were a lot more optimistic and a lot more positive than a lot of us were. So fair play. You get half credit because it was still the draw, but well done for backing it. And we got to hopefully keep that positivity going. We want to carry that as we move in. I thought we were better with our delivery into the box and our long balls. We did step it up in the second half. So in the second half, our possession increased, our XG increased, our shots, our chances, our interceptions, all that increased. We forced Liverpool to play a little bit on the back foot a little more. The game got a little more open. Honestly, like I said, my greedy ass was pushing for 3 points by the time the second half started. Bach says, I like Højlund, but he would really benefit from learning off an experienced striker, be the number 2 guy with less pressure. Box, that was the whole point when we bought Højlund. He wasn't bought to be the main guy. He wasn't the main guy at Atalanta. Really, he wasn't meant to be. He only became the main guy because of injuries and poor form. He wasn't playing. You don't plan on a 19, 20-year-old in his first season in the league to be your main guy unless it's literally like Erling Haaland. We tried to get Harry Kane. We brought in Xerxes. I don't know what Xerxes was supposed to do, but Højlund still needs time. He's still very, very young. And so we'll get there. I do like Højlund a lot. He's a very good striker. His conversion rate, top scorer for us last season, it speaks for itself. He's got a lot of the natural, the intangibles. He just needs time and years to develop a little bit of that. So you guys let me know what you think on Højlund. Like you said, I love Højlund. You guys know how I feel about Højlund. What did Ruben Amorim have to say after this one? Amorim speaking after the match, the mantra for the post-match interviews was mentality. The mentality was the mantra, and whether he was talking to Sky or whoever, the word mentality came up probably half a dozen times. He says, I want to see my team play so much better, but I think the most important thing to address today is the mentality. And that is the key for everything. I think we faced this game, second half and first half, with a different mentality. That is the difference. We've been talking about this for weeks. If you guys joined Dylan and I for the New Year's resolutions video the other day, one of the New Year's resolutions was fix the mentality. We need to get mentality, mentally strong. We need mentality mantras. We need leaders. Amorim said heading into this, we need leaders. It looked like they paid attention. He said, we face the competition in the way that we're supposed to face everyday training and match. It doesn't matter the place, the opponent. We need to face every day like that. This is what Amorim is talking about. This is a little bit about what's going on with Rashford. He wants to see that same mentality, whether it's Liverpool, whether it's Luton Town, whether it's Barnsley, whether it's training, whether it's off the pitch, the way you engage. He wants to see some sort of that positive, that leadership, that mentality, that mental strength, that confidence, that responsibility. He wants to see that in all facets of you as a professional footballer. And if he doesn't see it, he's going to question where your head's at and where your heart's at. Oops, wrong one. Sorry, sneak peek. Let me remove that and put this back here for a second. And Lionheart says, most importantly, United turned up today. They did turn up today. Amorim was also asked in this post-match about Xerxes' future at the club. He actually said, I want to keep Josh because he gives everything and he's trying in training, but we don't know. The window is open and we will see what happens. We just need to focus on training and to take this for the other games. I don't know how you guys took that. The part that I say, there's 2 parts here. I want to keep Josh because he gives everything, but we don't know. The window is open. We will see what happens. Those are 2 opposing things. It kind of hints that maybe there's something going on. Maybe there's been discussions or talks, or even Xerxes' agent have expressed maybe unhappiness or something, or another club. You guys let me know if I'm just reading too much into that, but that's what it comes across as. But it's interesting, those comments from Ruben Amorim. Let me go back over here. All right. So those are Amorim's thoughts. I've got mine. As you guys all know, I always do the 3 thoughts. So number 1 on 3 thoughts tonight. What is going on here? Musa King. That's awesome. United is all about desire and fashion. Up United. Right on, my guy. Thank you for stopping by and checking out the channel. But big up yourself. So my first point on the night, I look at this as points dropped. I don't know about you guys, but I'm frustrated right now. Like I said, I would have taken the point ahead of time as the match was going on. I wanted to win. I'm looking at this as point drop because we, honest to God, were the better side on the match. I thought we should have won. We could have won. We would have had it not been for that bullshit handball. Like I said, from VAR. I mean, how is that handball against De Ligt when Christian Romero's was? Christian Romero's that last year was way worse. De Ligt is like 2 feet away from the Liverpool player. Forget who it was. The ball deflects onto his arm. Like a full minute goes by before VAR even gets involved. Michael Oliver originally doesn't even think it's handball in the first place. And so is there enough clear and obvious error? Is there enough there to reverse the decision? I don't think so. Literally, all those things go in our favor. And the one thing that goes against us is the fact that De Ligt's arm is raised. Like, it doesn't make any sense. The VAR is the guy who made the call on that one. And you notice that I'm not talking about VAR like it's not a person. It's a guy in a room who's making the call there. We have to remember that. These are people. We like to, I think the league and the FA and the PGMOL like to put out this visage of VAR as being like this non-entity, this crazy like construct. It's a person. There was literally nothing about that situation that was clear and obvious in my opinion. And literally driving on the way home, listening to Sirius, looking at the pundits after the match, BBC, whoever, no broadcaster, no pundit has agreed with the fact that it was a pen. They're all wondering how it can be a pen. And this is the problem, the inconsistencies. We've seen same situations, even more clear situations not given in the past. And this is why I say scrap VAR. And then, like, again, a lot of people are confused on how Darwin Nunez didn't pick up a red card. He's just dirty bin dipping pricks, man, I swear. But again, points dropped. A few more minutes, we could have grabbed all 3 points, in my opinion. As again, I thought we were the better side. More momentum in the first half going our way. And then in the last few minutes, we just kind of switched on. We kept our defenders high up the pitch to get on the end of things. Obviously, Leacher grabbed the goal. Maguire could have had a goal. We were creating a load of chances towards the end, including that one that Maguire put over the bar. Like I've said, Liverpool didn't play like the home team. They did not play like a side that's top of the league right now with 1 loss in all comps. It's not the way they played today. We should have taken more advantage of a lackluster Trent Alexander-Arnold, who literally was playing today like he's already in Madrid, basically. He might as well just have been in Madrid. It probably would have done more good. And again, like we said, exploiting that space that he and Salah were leaving him behind. Dalla was getting forward. A lot of our attack was coming from our left-hand side. I thought we kept Salah relatively quiet as well. I think, honestly, if we just had another couple minutes of stoppage, I think we really would have got another goal. I think we were turning it up towards the end. We were creating those chances. We were tightening the pressure. Liverpool really couldn't do anything. I really think we would have won, and I really think it's points dropped for me. But this is it, what it is. Nick says 2 points drop. Yeah, you're right. It is. Box says if you attack Liverpool, they can be got at. And this is the thing. Like we said it in the preview. If you look back at the match that they played against Spurs, and they pushed those fullbacks too high up and it left the space open. We have the players who can exploit that space. We have to have the bollocks, the confidence, the skill on the ball, the pace, whatever you want to call it, the 1v1 to get the ball forward, to exploit that space. Trent was getting done time and time again. He didn't want to even bother. And that run that Højlund made, there was like Trent's trying to chase him, and then by the time Højlund gets in the box, Trent is nowhere to be seen. Like, he doesn't defend. And Liverpool fans out there and say, like, oh, he's a good defender. Look at, he'll catch you there. He's not a good defender. That was a horrible Scouse accent, by the way. Lionheart's, the handball was a joke. The handball was a joke, man. And I don't care if you want to give it handball, that's fine, but you got to give everything else across the board handball if that's the case, because otherwise it's just ridiculous. And all it does is make the FA look weak, the referees look weak. If I was a referee in the Premier League, I would be upset with the fact that VAR was making me look like an idiot week in, week out. Like, it's frustrating. Benamick says, yeah, Maguire, De Ligt, Martinez were jumping out of defense and pressing the passes onto the midfielders. It's awesome. I'm having such a good time with this result. Saw links of Xerxes at Juve. Yeah, we were talking about that a little bit yesterday in the transfer talk video. Um, View, can they perform like this every weekend? We are going to tackle that because that's one of my other points. But you guys let me know. Do you think this is points dropped? Do you think we could have got 3 points? Do you think, like I think, that we were robbed a little bit, that maybe with another couple minutes as well, we probably could have gotten a third? You guys let me know. I'm going to move on to my next point here as we continue moving on. Fearless. So whether it was actually getting some time on the training pitch, playing against Liverpool, big game, or Ruben Amorim using a little bit of reverse psychology with his remarks about the players being afraid or not having leaders, it worked. Whatever it was, it worked because we played without fear today. 4 times as many tackles as Liverpool. And how great were some of those tackles? If you can't get up for a Liverpool-Manchester United match and you can't get out of your seat for some of these crunching tackles that we were seeing today, then football is not for you. The one Maguire was booked for, again, is about as perfect as it gets, just short of Euro's perfection. But the tackles, again, they were crunching. They were worthy of the occasion. I was absolutely here for it. I love it. We won more duels, and we got forward a bit more today, like you guys were saying, which was refreshing, too. It just showed that we were playing without fear today. We showed up, and we didn't play like a team in 14th against top of the league Liverpool. We didn't play like a team who got battered 7-0. We played like Manchester United today. And couldn't be more proud of the players today. Again, even Dallo did well to get forward, to back himself, to exploit that space. That again, I keep saying that Liverpool's whole right side was probably leakier than the Anfield roof today. If you know, you know. Somebody go watch that footage. I think we could have capitalized on that a little bit more, but it is what it is. Let me see what you guys are saying. Chow was disappointed we didn't get the W. Yeah, exactly. Again, like I said, I would have snatched your hand off for the point ahead of time, but as the match was going on, I wanted 3 points because I thought we had it. We had it in us. Lionheart says, I love the energy today. When Liverpool hurt us on the counter, they were able to get the bodies back and deal with it. Even Maguire was like an Olympic sprinter today. Yeah. And this is what we get. Like I said, maybe it's just a couple of, like, the fact that we've got some training, and like Amram said, this is the first time in this past week that he's had some time to train, and he'll get it again. If this is what can happen after a couple of training sessions when we don't have it for a while, imagine what we could do. But Box says, Maguire, Delidu, Ugarte, big tackles. Ugarte, I love Ugarte. He's such a good player. Oliver F1000, thank you for stopping by. 100% correct decision to give a pen there. You got to let me know why you think that, because I'm having a hard time seeing why it's a pen. Delit is super close, which we know proximity is taken into consideration. It's deflected off of a Liverpool player, which also changes the trajectory of the ball. We haven't seen them given in the past when Christian Romero had had an even worse situation at Spurs. Michael Oliver, the referee on the day, didn't think it was a pen, and a full minute goes by before anybody gets involved, and VAR decides to go ahead and do it. So I'm not seeing a whole lot of reasons why that's a pen. And then again, the biggest one is the inconsistency in the calls in the past. Box says, I've seen a few big leaky stadiums. Emirates was leaking last year, Anfield today, and quite a few German ones. I think, wasn't the Etihad leaking not that long ago? They all leak. It's just, it is what it is. People want to go in on United because that's who we are. But as far as fearlessness and leadership, Bruno in particular, he set the tone with a man of the match performance as far as I'm. The best I've seen from him all year, honestly, from Bruno. Disciplined, giving instructions, a leader on the pitch, tracking back, getting involved, winning the ball. Perhaps he heard and really took to heart Amorim's remarks about no leaders. Created the most chances in the match. He won the most duels. Maybe not the most. He won 11 duels on the day, which is insane. You remember that Wolves match? Our best player in that match was, as far as the duels go, was Ugarte with just 7. Bruno won 11 duels today against Liverpool at Anfield. That's captain's performance. This is exactly what we've been crying out for from him, from everybody. He completed all of his dribbles, 12 passes into the final third. He had an assist. And then there was a moment, and I've said this many times, I don't think Bruno was the most press resistant, but there was a moment later in the second half where he had the ball deep in our own half, surrounded by like 3 Liverpool players. But he does well to create some space for himself, get out, and he wins a free kick, I believe. Like, we have to see this on a weekly basis. Ahmad, also great, grabbed a goal. best pass completion of anybody else on the pitch. Won all of his dribbles, or completed all of his dribbles. 3 out of 5 tools, not bad for a number 10. He's got 3 goals and 6 assists now in the league, Ahmad. Like 9 goal involvements is immense for a kid, from the kid. Get him signed up, get the contract done. Ugarte, another great match, came back into the 11 after being suspended, and he did well. I was surprised. I had to check and make sure he did well to avoid getting yellows after a few early rough tackles that Mike Oliver let go. And this is why I don't agree with the decision to take him off a couple weeks ago. He was on. He didn't get a yellow at all today for some of those tackles. Like he won the most tackles in the match. He had 5 out of 5 long balls. It's simple. You win the ball, you pass the ball. Win the ball, pass the ball. That's all you need to do as a 6. And he did it well. Mazraoui, another good day for him. 2 out of 2 dribbles, 4 out of 7 long balls. Won all 3 of his ground duels. Good to see a good match from Ugarte. And maybe he just needed some time off from training a week without a midweek fixture. I think that could really help a lot of the players, and it sounds like it did, or at least it looked like. Chow says, I wasn't even watching the game today, just listening to the Faz, did watch along in the morning. Yeah. Lionheart says that Bruno moment was fantastic. Yeah, when he beat those players and just created that space. I thought that was just the possession lost there, but Bruno just did well, man. Chowview says, I don't want to lose Arsenal FA Cup. Nobody wants to. We're going to do a preview of that one later on this week, but that's going to be an interesting match. Licha, impeccable on the night. And we really needed that from him after what we've seen from him recently. His goal, pristine goal, but he also created a one big chance. He had 3 interceptions, 4 clearances, 3 out of 5 ground duels, and he made a last man tackle as well. Excellent from Licha, excellent from Maguire. Solid, reliable presence, stepping up when he needed to, carrying the ball when he needed to, staying up and getting involved in the attack when he needed to, winning a lot of headers on set pieces and putting them back across the face of goal. He had many moments where I honestly didn't like just some of the plays he made, like watching it on TV for a moment. I didn't know it was Maguire. Like they were that good. I thought it was like Ugarte or something. Very good. Euro came on, made a world-class tackle, like I said. Xerxes was good. I thought Xerxes probably should have taken that shot on by himself, but whether that's confidence, whether he thought Maguire. I thought that ball was being played to Garnacho, and Maguire should have just let that run as well. But Garnacho was like right behind him. But it is what it is. The ball was hit, took a bobble. And probably the last person and this isn't a slight on Maguire, but just the fact, the last person you want that pass to get squared to in that situation is probably Harry Maguire. So it is what it is. I think aside from just a few players not being as good as everyone else, I would say it was just an excellent performance all around from the lads. I think the worst thing I've seen from anyone today was probably De Ligt getting completely sent to the stands by Gakpo for their goal. That was probably the worst thing I saw from anyone today. So, but put aside the stats and just watch the game. And honestly, we were excellent on the day. Honestly, again, I thought we were the better side. Like Bach says, Licha more like a butcher. Yeah, he got those knives sharpened. Obviously, when you're using them all the time, you don't have time to sharpen them. They're going to get dull. He had a week, a little bit of training, a little time off, sharpened those knives, and went back to work. I love it. Lionheart says, I honestly wouldn't mind if we got knocked out of the FA Cup this year as long as we play well. I don't even know who's in the FA Cup at the moment. I'll have to check the standings again, but we could get a good, decent draw if we manage to get a result against Arsenal. The problem with Arsenal in the FA Cup is that Arteta is now under pressure. We were talking about this at Loaded Dice earlier. He's under pressure. Some people were talking about maybe maybe Arteta will rotate. He might rotate, but honestly, I don't think Arteta is at a point now in his Arsenal career, after not really winning a whole lot since that first half season with players that he didn't even sign. He's got to try to do something. He's not going to win the league, so they're not going to win Champions League. They have to get something, or else there's going to be some hard conversations this summer as far as Arteta goes. Buck says Garnacho's best cameo in a while. Yeah, I thought Garnacho did pretty decent. Bach says all the big teams enter this round the FA Cup. Let's hope for some upsets then, right? Let's hope for some upsets. Maybe we can get somebody a couple leagues down. Who knows? Man City have Salford. Tottenham have 5th tier Tamworth. Of course they do. We did not get very favorable draws this year aside from Barnsley, which it swings and roundabouts, right? The last couple of years we've had some pretty favorable draws, and even some of those gave us a bit of a heart attack. Coventry, I know a lot of people are in a hurry to forget about that Coventry match, but it was going to happen one day. It all regresses to the mean. But you guys let me know what you thought about the leadership, about the fearlessness, about the mentality. I'm going to move on to my next point, which is, sorry, let me do this. Well done. Now do it again. That's my third point. As a team, and then on an individual level, performances like this raise expectations and they raise standards. And we need to use this as a springboard and a foundation to push onward. I don't know what you guys think about that, but again, it's just, you got to do it better. You got to do it again. You can't rest on your laurels. You can't say, oh, cool, job done. You maintain and build upon that, improve upon that. And Bruno said something similar after the match. He said, I'm pretty upset because if we can show this today against Liverpool at Anfield, who are first in the league and who have been probably the outstanding team in the league this season, why can't we do this every week? And that's our captain saying that after the match, echoing what I've been saying. Like, it's frustrating that we can do this, that we can do this against City, we can do this against Liverpool away from home, but we can't do it against Bournemouth, Wolves, Newcastle, like Spurs and the League Cup. Like, why can't we do this every time? It can't just be down to a little bit of training. Like, it helps, but that's not just all there is to it. And it's not just about the play, but it's about the mentality. Again, one question. So you guys know I'm a mental health professional. One question I'll ask a lot of my clients, whether it's the very first session or after a few months, and they're already kind of applying a lot of what we're talking about to their day-to-day lives. And one question I always ask is what's worked? What's worked for you so far? Like what's worked? What's mentally, what was different about this performance than the other performances? Going into this, during the match, the week ahead of time, what was different mentally, emotionally for you? Not just tactically on the pitch. What was going on in the players' minds? Find that difference, that X factor, whatever it is you're telling yourself, whatever it is you've been carrying around that you decided to put down and leave behind, whatever you did, tap into it, cling to it, try to make it contagious in the squad and use it from now on. If something is working, it stands to reason that you should continue to try to do it, right? Because that X factor, that little extra thing, that will be the difference maker in matches like these. That will be the difference maker. So whatever it is, maintain it, sustain it, do it again. That's all I ask. Box says the next two league games are must win at home to Southampton and Brighton. Be ruthless, clinical. Yeah, I'll be there for that one, for both of those, Box. I'll be leaving not this coming Wednesday, but the Wednesday after. Justin and I, if you guys remember Justin from stream in the summer, he and I are going over there. We're going to be checking out Brighton, Southampton. We're going to go to the watch the kids play in the FA Youth Cup at Lee Sports Village, and then we're going to go check out Salford City versus Fleetwood as well. So I might even be able to convince Justin to go check out the women's match because the women play Man City at the Etihad. So that's, I think, a couple hours after the Brighton match. So that could be fun. Composed View says, well, first Bruno needs to perform this way consistently every week, lead, and perhaps the rest will follow. And maybe that's what it takes. I mean, it's hard to know where to start, what area to focus on, but you have to pick one. And it helps when, as you're a new manager, you're trying that you have like players like that who are taking their role seriously as well. It's too early to say that we're back. I'm not going to say we're back, but it's not too early to see what Amorim wants from this team, right? I think that we've played more balls in the final third today than we have in a while. We just need a little bit more energy and more movement up there. We're completing more dribbles, completing more duels. Again, it's that mentality. Box says, bring us good luck. I've been a bad luck charm. The two matches I went to last year, Box, we lost both of them. I went to Crystal Palace and Galatasaray. The matches I went to 2 years ago, we won Real Betis, and I think we drew Southampton 1-1 when I was there as well. So my luck started really well against Real Betis, and then it kind of waned. So hopefully the new manager bounce can cancel out my bad luck charm. Well, who knows? Do you guys want to do player ratings? You guys know I don't do player ratings typically, but I know that sometimes you guys like to do them as well. So if you want to do a player rating, let me know, and we can go through the players, and I'll let you guys kind of vote on that. But let me know if that's something you want to do. Otherwise, I'm going to keep going here. So Amorim, I thought, did really well, impact the game with his subs. Like I said, his subs came on and made a difference. So fair play to him there. We've seen that happen before as well. We saw that like Kobbie Mainoo came on against Newcastle and did a very good job against them. It was just a little too late, unfortunately. Lionheart says, it seems like when most managers win the FA Cup at United, they get the sack soon after. Doherty, Atkinson, Van Gaal, and Ten Hag. Perhaps Amorim should skip this one. Sorry, I had to get a drink. It was a loud day at Loaded Dice. Usman, welcome back, my friend. Yeah, I don't know what the deal is with the FA Cup. Is that a manager thing? Is that a player thing? Do people think like, oh, we've made it, we won the FA Cup? Or I don't know what to tell you. I know we know for a fact that Van Gaal was getting the sack no matter what. He was basically like Rooney would tell stories all the time, even celebrating after they won, after they lived. Like Van Gaal like was already behaving like something was off. So it was already like they could tell something was going on. So good point. Yeah, I couldn't tell you what's going on with the FA Cup. Maybe it's the kiss of death. I don't know. Only half joking, says Lionhearts. But hey, this is the first time we've actually scored a goal at Anfield since 2018 as well. So I'm taking that. We went toe to toe with the best team in the league right now, and we were the better side. Again, like I've said, it's hard to be too upset about that. I love watching Jamie Carragher try to blame Real Madrid for Trent Alexander-Arnold being in shit as well. That was hilarious. What about all those other days he was shit? Is that Real Madrid's fault too? It's ridiculous. Betamax says, was the FA Cup that saved Fergie when Mark Robbins scored? That's a good question. Very true, says Lionhearts. If this is what we can do, though, with a couple days of training, with a couple of challenging words from Ruben Amorim, we need leaders. We're lacking mentality, dropping a couple players, whatever. Maybe it was a rest for Bruno from being suspended. Maybe Ugarte as well. Maybe just that week off of rest for everybody. Who knows? But this is what we can do with a little bit of that, as far as tactics are concerned and just mentality is concerned. Then, as someone said earlier about Arsenal, like, I expect more of this against Arsenal on the weekend. We've shown that we're capable, so now we need to maintain. Again, why is it we could play like this against City and Liverpool, but not Bournemouth, Wolves, or Newcastle or Spurs? I'm not trying to split hairs. I don't want to be pedantic about it, but I want to see more of this. We can play this way. There's nowhere to hide now. You have shown that you can do this against some of the best sides, so there's no reason not to. RSV, welcome back. Big up, my friend. He said, I'm very proud of Amorim sticking to his principles and not adapting to the player's strengths, unlike Erik Ten Hag. I actually see a style of play in today's game prove that he just needs his players. True story, man. It is very true. I agree. It's just, you got to stick with it. Like Amorim said, he's not going to change. He says that's the death of any manager. He's not going to just adapt and then be in the same situation in a year because he then has to wait to try to implement the principles. This is why he was brought in. This is what he wants to do. It's up to the players now to either adapt or step up and perform. And those who aren't, we've seen Ineos has no problem backing Amorim when he doesn't want them to play. Rashford is chilling, not even on the bench. So RSV says, what's very frustrating is that most of the goals we've conceded in the league under Amorim came from set pieces and individual mistakes, not because of a dysfunctional system. Yeah, exactly. Mentality. No one's attacking these balls with that are getting crossed into the box. No one's staying switched on. It's simple errors. It's a mentality thing. And I think that if you can fix the mental game, if you can win the mental game within your own mind, you can win the physical game. It sounds complicated, it sounds scary, and it's not an overnight process, but it can be done. Unfortunately, the point didn't really do a whole lot for us. It did jump us up to 13th on 23 points, but we're still -5 for a goal differential. Hopefully, I can shake this bad luck since I'll be there for the Southampton-Brighton matches. So hopefully those would be some points. But before that, it is going to be Arsenal in the FA Cup next. So onward and upward as far as that is concerned. What are you guys saying here in the chat? West Ham, mind the gap. Yeah, you guys let me know if you want to do any player ratings. I do have it keyed up in case you want to. Again, it's up to you guys. We can do that. those of you who are members, you'll notice in your emojis there is a little man of the match emoji. So if we ever did do any player ratings and we got to the player that you thought is your man of the match, let me know. Heck, you can even let me know now if you just want to put the player's name and then put the little man of the match emoji after that or something. Let me know what you think. The members do get access to the emojis, so there's a couple of them, and then as the channel gets growing and as more members, I can add more emojis, but you'll see them in there right now. There's a Trinity statue, there's a little devil emoji, there's the little devil crest, and then there is a man of the match emoji. So, and get involved if you think there are some other emojis that you'd like to put on there. I can figure out how to do it. Usman says, Sean, can moderators do it? Can moderators do what? Let me know. No, if you're talking about emojis, no, that's a member thing, pal. And again, that's a YouTube thing. YouTube's just, they're specific, but also non-specific when it comes to the membership. So like I said, try to hook Usman up, and it's completely random lottery about who gets the memberships. You can only give them live, and I can only give out like 10 a month every 30 days. So, and it's completely random. So we'll hook you up again, my guy. RSV says, Ronaldo did say the storm will finish and the sun will rise, and hopefully the players bounce back in the next league game if they can't get their job done against Arsenal. I mean, we have to be able to play against Arsenal. We're going to have another week between these matches. We have more time to train. We've done this against Liverpool. And really, all the pressure is going to be on Arsenal this weekend. They're the ones who are trying to push. They're the ones trying to maintain. And what kind of team Arteta puts out on the weekend is going to tell you where his priorities lie. Is he really going to try to make a push for the league? Is he going to try to win a trophy and try to go strong on the weekend? We don't have a choice because the squad depth's just not there. We can't just start rotating everybody. But Bach says, it was great having a lot of man of the match candidates. Yeah, get your votes in who you want to see man of the match. But if no one wants to do the player ratings, I am probably going to wrap it up there. So please hit that like button if you haven't yet. Please subscribe to the channel if you are new. Let me know maybe who the man of the match was for you. If I had to guess right, if I had to pick right now who would be man of the match, oh man, it's so hard. Probably going to have to go with Bruno just because of the way he played, just the captain's performance, the way he was just 10 times better in almost every area of his game than he has been all month, and I think that was a true captain's performance. I'd have to go with Bruno if I had to pick one now. Bach says, Bruno, man of the match for me. Yeah, that's what I said. Bach says, Mainu, Maguire, Ugarte also shouts. Yeah, everybody had a pretty good game. Usman says, I think man of the match goes to Bruno. Yeah, sounds like everybody's voting Bruno. I'm voting Bruno as well. Let me see what I got here. So I'm just kind of looking around at what I can do on the channel. I'm still like figuring out all these fun things. Oh, cool. I have 5. Let me try. So I just gifted some memberships. See who get one. So RobCap got one. Bexy got one. Again, these are random. I don't pick these. So Usman, you missed out again, man. Dude, it's just not your day, man. Sorry. So Lionheart says Bruno, hands down, members. Usman, you keep trying, bud. We'll get you hooked up, bud. But yeah, 5 members. So I've just gifted 5 members because we're celebrating that. So don't laugh at him, Box. That's not funny. Usman says, I loved Euro's tackle against Nunez. Usman, you also have to make sure your settings are on YouTube that you can accept memberships as well. So that is a thing as well. Not everybody can receive them because not everybody has their settings in their YouTube profile set to where they can. So that might be what's blocking it. So you need to go make sure that's not checked off on your profile, because that could be doing it. Because there's no way you can go 3 rounds and you not get it. But we'll hook you up, man. But go fit around with your settings. I don't know enough about YouTube on that regard to know where to go exactly. But Google it. How do I change my thing to accept memberships, and we'll get you sorted, bud. But until then, thank you guys for stopping by, everyone. It has been a pleasure. If you weren't able to catch the live, leave a comment. As always, I'll respond to all of them. If there's enough transfer news tomorrow, check back midday afternoon. Maybe we'll do a transfer talk show. Until then, please like the video. Please subscribe to the channel if you are new. If you want to get more involved, you want to get involved in the emojis, you want to get more involved in scouting reports, suggestions, and things like that, check out the membership perks. Fun way to get more involved. So until then, enjoy the rest of your Sundays, guys. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, what's left of it. Stay warm, stay safe, and I will see you guys on the next one. Talk to you later. Bye.